What's up, guys? Jason up the New 80's Revolution down here in your favorite cave for a very important channel update. A must-watch, must-see TV right now down here in the cave this second. Lately, I've been coming on and talking about some ideas that I have for the channel and some different shows. And yesterday we debuted or piloted a WWF magazine read-through, I guess, page-by-page review. And we put that under the Wrestling with the Past umbrella. And you know that'll obviously be a slow build, and folks who saw it are enjoying it and want it to continue, so it will continue. But lately, I've been thinking about some more shows, I guess, some more show ideas, some more umbrellas that episodes or shows can fall under. And in addition to that, I'm here to announce something that has been offered to me, that has been brought to my life unexpectedly, that will benefit all of us. It'll be a lot of fun to do, and I'm going to tell you that in a minute. But first, I wanted to tell you what's going to be happening on this channel. I need to kind of structure my thinking and take some of these ideas and actually put them together, instead of hitting an idea here and having an idea here and then not letting it follow through. You might remember Play Action Championship Wrestling. That was obviously supposed to be a thing. In fact, I think somewhere down here or here is the PACW logo. And for one reason or another that never happened. I still love the idea. But so I want to I want to make some of these ideas actually happen. So what I'm going to do with this channel is really format it and structure it, and have maybe 4 or 5 main shows. Okay. And I've added a couple of more that I think you guys will like. It's always been something that you have asked me for. It's always been something that you've asked me to talk about. And I'm going to do it this time. And it's a very simple concept, and it might even be an overdone concept. But when we do it, we do it differently, and we have fun with it. So I'll get to that. So what is going to be a part of this channel going forward in a structured way is the following. Wrestling with the Past is something that I want to continue doing, but adding more underneath that Wrestling with the Past umbrella. What I'm going to try to do, what I'm going to debut when we do our first house show, which is a Madison Square Garden show. Is it a Madison Square Garden show? Yes. It's a Madison Square Garden show from January 24th, 1983. So we've been watching Championship Wrestling for 83. We're going to do our first house show. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to pull footage. And I want to be able to put it into the video without it being marked for copyright. And I think the only way that you can do that with WWF footage is to put it in a tiny little box in the corner without sound. And so I'm going to try to do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to... And we'll see where it goes. I mean, if it gets pulled, then we'll go back to the photos, and there might be less photos because that's a lot of work. Wrestling with the Past, and we're going to throw the magazines under that umbrella as well. So as we alternate between wrestling episodes and wrestling magazines, we'll go through the magazines together. So that'll all fall under the Wrestling with the Past umbrella. Obviously, the figure and toy reviews or showing off of the collection isn't going anywhere. The G.I. Joe collection is not going anywhere. That's going to continue. In fact, tomorrow I should have an update on the 1984 line being done. Firefly complete. We're done. We're moving on to 1985. So that will never go anywhere. I still have lots of stuff around this room that I've never showed you, and I want to do that. So that's not going anywhere. Now, the things that are being added vintage horror, the vintage horror show, but more specifically, vintage horror night, where you and I hang out and watch a horror movie and cook some food together, is happening, and I'm hoping desperately to have it debuted this weekend. A new show that I have decided to do, again, very, very simple, very common, and very overdone, but something you guys have asked for, my top fives. So there will be an entire show dedicated to my top five, dot, dot, dot. The top five ideas are endless, and you guys will tell me what you want to see my top five of. So it can be anything, and it's going to be anything. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from yesterday. It can be my top five snacks of today, my top five beers of today, my top five, I don't know, of today. I'd like it to be focused in the 80s, but, we'll add some stuff today. So the top five, the New 80s Revolution's top five, dot, 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 and yes, that is the title, is coming. I had an idea, and I guess I've been doing this the whole time with the channel, but I want to focus on more of an 80s reflection, talking about Christmases of the 80s, talking about school, talking about my old neighborhood where I used to live. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take you guys to my old elementary school and take you to my old house where I used to live, where I grew up, where I discovered Hulkamania and where my LJNs were first displayed. Now, I'm probably not going to be allowed in the house, but I want to walk through the neighborhood with you and just talk about, stuff. I want to, we've talked a lot about toys, we've talked a lot about pop culture of the 80s, but you guys seem to be more into the memories, and so I want to bring that out too. And I don't know exactly how, I'm going to do just an overall 80s reflection show, but I'll figure it out and we'll do that. But now, the big news. The news that I've been wanting to tell you. A while back, a very well-known podcaster named Avi Klein reached out to me, and at first I thought that maybe it was a bot or spam or junk mail or whatever those things are called, and and I just was like thanks, but I'm good, and then some of his fans were ragging on me because I was standoffish or not interested, and then I found out more about who Avi Klein is, and the talent that the talent that he has as a podcaster, as an interviewer, and B, the talent that he's worked with on his show. He has worked with everyone, because he is a regular at huge wrestling fan events. He has his show broadcast out of some of these big super cons, WrestleCade, all the just these huge Starcast. Is one of them. Starcast, WrestleCade, I think WrestleCon might be one. But anyway, and he's got his show called Wrestling with Anything But, and you can check that out on YouTube. Well, Avi has invited me, and I've done his show a few times, and it's been a blast. And he's invited me to join him on a new podcast / Twitch show adventure. Avi is going to be doing a handful of shows, and I'll show you some of the posters right now for these shows. Get excited. Check this out. Avi is going to be doing a weekly show with WCW's Glacier. He's going to be doing a weekly show with Paul Roma. He's going to do a weekly show with Duke Drosy, the former dumpster of the WWF. that's going to be spun in a little bit of a more wellness recovery type of direction, and he's going to be doing a weekly show with Don Morocco, ladies and gentlemen. And Avi has invited me to be a part of those shows. So I will be joining those shows, coming in on segments, talking, representing the 80s, kind of being the 80s guy on the show, and then, hopefully just getting involved with the interviews and Avi definitely takes his show on the road, and we've already started making plans for next year when we are allowed to go be in public again, doing some live stuff at some of these bigger wrestling cons. And so that's going to be huge. The shows are going to be on Twitch, so I think that's video. I think we're going to have some video. I believe that's how Twitch works. As more information comes, and from those posters, you can see when his shows are debuting. And my debut is going to be on July, I believe it's July 13th. I'll put it in the comments. Give me 1 second. Where's the calendar on my phone? Yeah, I'm going to be July 13th. Monday, July 13th, I'm going to be debuting on the Avi Klein Glacier show. And I think it's called Breaking the Ice with Glacier. And I'm gonna debut on that. And then we're going to go from there. So I wanted to let you know that. I might even eventually have my own show on Twitch under his network, under his umbrella, under Avi Klein's umbrella. And that'll be a blast. And so... So that's where we're headed. That's what I want. I want you guys to know that we're going places and doing things. And so Wrestling with the Past magazines and TV show footage, MSG shows, house shows, that's all staying on board. Obviously, figures and reviews and toy collections and G.I. Joe, that ain't going anywhere. We're adding my top 5 lists as a show. That's going to be a show. So throw me some ideas for some top 5 lists that you want to see. The Vintage Horror Night, Vintage Horror Show, VHS, is happening and hopefully will happen this weekend. And then kind of an 80s, just an overall 80s reflection show we're going to try to add. And then the being a part of the Wrestling with Anything But podcast with Avi Klein over on Twitch. So get yourself Twitch. I got to get it. I don't even have it yet. I got to get Twitch. Get Twitch. YouTube isn't going anywhere, but we're going to expand out to Twitch. And I'm going to be hanging out with Glacier and Don Morocco and Pretty Paul Roma and Duke Drosy. And, that's a big nerd's dream come true. So that's cool. Thanks to Avi Klein for thinking so highly of me and liking what I do and wanting me to be a part of his already established talent, his already established name in this podcast world. So anyway, that's that. Just want to give you a quick update. I promise that's the last channel update. We won't be changing things up. This is it. This is what we're going to do. And I'll see you all next time. Good night now.